Welcome to this edition of From the Editor's Desk. I'm Greg Moore, editor of the Denver Post. Today joining me are Christopher Allen Brewer and James Manda. Brewer founded the SpiritChasers in 2007, and we thought it would be fitting today on Halloween to engage them on this subject. So thank you both for coming up from Colorado Springs. Let's just set the foundation here. Tell us briefly about SpiritChasers. What is it exactly?
Well, we were having a Halloween party in 2007 and decided that instead of maybe like a typical invite, we would create a program that was kind of like a basement late night infomercial to kind of educate our guests on paranormal activity, and then also just to invite them to our Halloween party. So we thought we'd film a show in a haunted park we live near. A 737.
In Colorado Springs?
Yeah, 737 had crashed in 1991 and left a kind of heavy psychic imprint there.
Yes.
So every time we've gone, we've gotten strange lights, voices, all kinds of stuff. So we were going to take our guests there, but once we actually did research on the people, we thought that probably not as appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Native American, so we have tremendous respect for the dead and for places where there are dead. You know, we always hear about the Indian burial grounds. You know, don't be building anything on top of those. So that was the case. So we kept going back every year and kept releasing a new program every year due to its popularity. So here we are. We investigated the Crook Patterson Mansion, which is now the Patterson Inn, last April, and for the first time got moving apparitions on camera. So that was really
Do people call you, or you just sort of go and explore this?
We get invited. We get invited a lot of places
yeah.
now. I think because people know we're just not amateur hacks, and we're really trying to cut down on the sideshow aspect of paranormal research.
So scientifically, you know, there are those that say there's no evidence that ghosts exist, that, you know, a lot of that paranormal activity is the mind playing games or environmental things like electromagnetic fields and, you know, things like this. Really like no different than an eyewitness actually seeing something that didn't happen. Yet Americans believe, half of Americans believe in ghosts. So what do you say to the scientists who say, look, I mean, you know, it's not real? What do you say?
Well, there's other widely accepted beliefs. Say a certain religious figure who had the ability to turn water into wine, maybe to walk on water. For those who don't believe, have no beliefs, you know, is it easier to believe in a world where our gods have abandoned us and all that's left is just war and bombings and regular schoolyard shootings? So for us, I think it's something that you really have to experience to believe, you know. We're actually very, very skeptical people, you know, but we've just seen and read too much. You know, I'm Native American, so being Oglala Sioux, I was prepared very early on for the concept of a spirit world and the possibility that our ancestors would return to impart, you know, wisdom or warnings. So from very early on, for me, it was just easier to accept that, and that was, you know, he's Italian, so they've got numerous kind of superstitions and
and deep beliefs, right?
Deep beliefs.
Drop a broom and company's coming, and
drop a broom. But like you said before about fear, if you walk into a situation with fear, that's what you're going to get.
Right.
I mean, you're going to be hypersensitive to anything, and
misinterpret stuff.
You're going to misinterpret stuff. But if you're open and intuitive, possibly, that you can receive anything. Anything can happen. And like you said, you have to experience it. Otherwise, no, you're not going to believe in it.
It's just so unfortunate now that a lot of the shows are fear-based. You know, we go into everything with kind of like this poor eternus, like this eternal child sense of wonder and awe. So we were on the biography channel's My Ghost Story. It's been bought out by like Lifetime Movie Network now.
Yeah, I've watched it a few times.
But you know, that was a little Hollywoodized. You know, they wanted to make it a little more creepy for viewers. But it didn't quite happen the way that it was presented. You know, we had a blast, you know, down there.
I think that would be one of our best investigations.
Actually, yeah, Cave of the Winds in Colorado Springs.
Cave of the Winds.
Yeah, I heard.
So you would add that to the list of places to go?
That would probably be the #1 place. It's actually, according to legend, it was the Ute Indian entrance to the underworld. So we met the owner of the caves. We met several of the tour guides. All of them had experiences, you know, to tell us about. You know, apparently there's just always been spirits. They're not just Utes, but also the former caretaker George and one of his wives Nellie. They used to honeymoon there and did a lot of digging themselves. So they're just there.
And you're not joking around. I mean, okay, you're not joking around. So what kind of technology are you using when you go like to Cheeseman or whatever? What are you going to have with you tonight?
We've brought a lot of things. Over time, we've kind of just, shaved it down to a camera and a digital voice recorder. The best tool you can use is your intuition. And it's a tool that, you don't have to be anything special. It's not a gift. It's something that's built in. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't listen to that little voice that says, turn left. It's always the voice that's saying, maybe this isn't the best job for you. Maybe you're not the happiest with your mate, or you need to move. It's that voice we're always telling to shut up and pushing aside. So that's where we come from, is a place of intuition, and just really been developing my empathic skills over the years. We always talk about, I feel like someone's watching me. What is that? That's a sixth sense we use, all the time.
Sure.
So it's just an extension of that.
So you have a camera, I read someplace, that takes, what, 10 frames a second or something like that?
It's a GoPro.
So you're trying to catch what? Like,
well, they move really, really quick. So a lot of times, you might get like an anomaly in like one of those frames that's unexplained. Not a bug, not dust, not swamp gas, not,
electricity.
So
should we be scared of ghosts?
No.
Well, no.
No.
I mean, we'll be ghosts one day.
No.
We'll be ghosts one day?
If we choose to, I think when we ascend, we have a choice, just like we have here on Earth. Maybe we want to be someone's guardian angel, just like an earthly guide for somebody, maybe pay off a little karma doing that. So I think I'll definitely come back, and maybe haunt some people a little bit.
Simple question. Do you look forward to Halloween?
Yeah, it's my favorite time of the year.
It's your favorite time of the year?
So busy, though. I can't believe it's Halloween Day. We've done so much this year. It's just, we had a great presentation last evening. We had 30 people. It sold out. 2 hours still wasn't enough time to share everything that we had. So
do you feel in some ways that Halloween trivializes what you do?
No, it's just part of our culture to kind of like look at our mortality during this time of the year. Like in Mexico, Day of the Dead, it's celebrated. They have picnics in cemeteries. They make sugar skulls. There's nothing to fear, there. Here it's different. We were goofing off in the spirit store the other day, and I was just perplexed by the amount of gore nowadays that they have everywhere. I love horror movies, but when I was a kid, it was just fascinating. There was such mystery to it, and that's where we come from, is just this preservation of mystery and wonder in the world. So
we're going to end a question. Each one of you take a shot at it. So what's your favorite movie about paranormal?
Probably Poltergeist.
Poltergeist?
We grew
You
up
can't
with
have
that.
the same one. Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Okay.
It was always on HBO when I grew up, and also there was an occasion where all of our relatives were in the same house. Monica was there, and I reenacted the entire movie just by myself. But it's just always because we had several of these experiences throughout our upbringing. We were all haunted in some way. We all have our own stories. So now it's just an extension of that, just kind of living this ghost story. So. How many times
Poltergeist. What about for you?
I would say Poltergeist for the last 20 years until I saw The Ring.
The Ring?
Yeah, that's scared the bejesus out of me. But it was a really good movie with a twist ending, so, and I thought, and it wasn't all gore like we were talking about, so yeah, I think The Ring.
I don't really watch that many paranormal movies, but I guess if I had to pick one, I would pick Amityville Horror or something like that, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I hope you guys enjoy your time at Cheeseman, and I hope you find something. And if you do, come back and show it to us. All right?
I sure will.
Okay. Listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Greg Moore, editor of the Denver Post, and until next time, I'll see you from the editor's desk. To see more interviews, go to denverpost.com/from the editor's desk. Until next time, thanks.